probably going to have to ask you about transfer speculation and potential to bring in a centre-half in January. How likely are you to bring in a centre-half, whether it's Mark Gay or anyone else?
Oh, this was one of the questions I didn't expect. Talking about signings in the winter break, I think there are so many games to be played before that. And in the position we are in, it's the last thing that's on my mind. Maybe not on Richard's, but it's the last thing on my mind. So it's not a topic at all for me at the moment. We have at this moment of time 3 centre backs, where with Joe Gomez included, of course, and maybe Ryan and Wata, who can play in that position. So maybe you are not aware of it yet, but we have other positions at the moment where which is a bit more of an issue.
In terms of results, then, how perfect do you feel you have to be if you are to retain the title now?
No, I think I've said many times already that at this moment of time we're not even thinking or talking about it. Actually, we didn't do this last season as well when we were top of the league. It's just about the next game. And I've said many times last season, and I say this season again as well, the best way to judge a league table is after 38 games, but the next best thing, in my opinion, is after 19 games. And no, let's see where we are then. But at this moment of time, the only focus we have is winning games of football, which it was actually the same last season at this moment of time.
I have to ask you about Andy Robertson. I think his comments after Scotland qualified for the World Cup around Diogo Jota kind of gave an indication of the weight of grief that you guys are all still carrying. I just wonder then how you manage that day to day within the club, but also as well, are you guys being fairly judged given the raw emotion that you're still carrying with regard to Diogo?
No, I think we're always judged, sometimes fair, sometimes unfair. But I saw the interview as well live, and I know that it is an issue for us, which is I think completely normal. But then at these moments of time, I always think about how must it feel for his wife and his children, because that's so much harder for them than it is for us. But that we miss the player and the person, that is completely clear. Maybe it tells you even more now. We play Nottingham Forest. Last season we were 1-0 down at Forest. It only took him 1 minute to score the equaliser. So now I'm talking about the player that we miss for sure, because this time we haven't managed to come back as many times as last season after being 1-0 down or a goal down. And he definitely played his part in that last season. But that we also miss him as a person, that be completely clear. But again, his wife and children will miss him so much more. Parents, by the way, as well.
I can tell that you're getting quite emotional now thinking about that as well. Does everybody come together, to be reminded? I know you don't want ever to forget Diogo, but it's that constant reminder. Is that something that is good for everyone to spur them on, or are there some other parts with that?
I think it's good for us to remind him every time possible because of, like I said, the person and the player he was. But it's impossible to measure what it does to the players and then to measure what it does to our results. So the last thing I would do is to use it as an excuse, because I don't know. What I do know is that we miss the player. That's 100% sure. And we also miss the person, but I cannot measure what that has an impact on our performances, let alone on our results. So that's impossible for me to say, and we will never use it as an excuse, because that doesn't feel right.
Can I ask you about team news? Alisson, just wondering where he is. Andy Robertson himself, I don't know if he trained yesterday. Alexander and the update maybe is on Jeremy as well.
Robert didn't train for a private reason, is that the way you say it? Yeah. But he will be with us today. Alisson trained last week and this week, so he will be able to play tomorrow if things work out well today again. But we do have some issues after the international break, unfortunately. So Conor Bradley is not able to play. Florian Wirtz is not able to play. Those are the two, I think. Yeah. So that's that's not far from ideal.
Do you expect Alisson, or will you choose Alisson to start?
If he's ready to play, then he will start.
Thank you.
Just wonder what differences you're expecting in Nottingham Forest this season compared to when you faced them last season. Obviously, 2 changes of manager since then.
Yeah, true. 2 changes. I don't think you can. No, not one manager is the same as another one. But the playing style of Nuno comes closer to the one of Sondice than it comes close to the one of Ainge Postecoglou, maybe. Again, not similar, but closer. So I think it's probably going to be a similar type of game than it was the last time we faced them now, with Sondice taking over from Ainge Postecoglou.
And obviously the hectic fixture schedule won't let up over the next few weeks. I think it's 7 games in 21 days for you. How is that when it comes to bedding some of your new signings in particular in? Because some of them have had sort of varying levels of form so far. How does that affect things when you perhaps feel like, I don't know, maybe you have to change things for fitness reasons every few days?
No, variation of form is not only with the new signing, that's also with the players we have. So that's always in a season that it's not always the same. They're not always in the same form. But the biggest issue we've faced till now and still facing is the match fitness of the players and the time they've missed in pre-season. So Alex now, we were hoping him to play a little bit more for the Swedish national team, but unfortunately he was 1 yellow away from being suspended. So for obvious reasons they didn't play him the second time. But for us, it would have been better if he would have had a bit more minutes in the second game. I just told you about Conor and Florian. Jeremy is already out, Giovanni Leoni. So we have at this moment of time 5 defenders, natural defenders, 5 players that have always played as a defender, available for indeed 7 games in 22 days. And I don't see anyone coming back before that. So that is something we almost, I wouldn't say expected, but we knew that it was hard when you bring players a little bit later into the season. That it's harder to keep them fit, and then there's more emphasis on the ones that have to play a little bit more in terms of what you ask from them. So that was one of the reasons why I played the team that I played against Palace for the League Cup.
What are the issues with Bradley and Wirtz?
Both muscle issues.
Expected to be long?
I don't expect Conor to be part of the upcoming 22 days. Maybe in the end, but not in the upcoming 22 days. Unless something as a miracle happens, which I don't expect. Florian should be able maybe to play after. It depends on how things work, but that shouldn't have to be that long.
Does that give you an issue?
But Jeremy is out just as long. He's not probably going to be available in the upcoming 2 or 3 weeks as well. So it's going to be interesting who all of you want to see as a right fullback.
That's my next question. Yeah, it's a big issue about that because you've obviously played Subtitles there, but he's doing so well for you in the middle.
He's doing so well in every position. Yeah, that's true. He's played really well as a fullback. Played really well as a midfielder. Curtis Jones played there last season as well. Joe Gomez can play there, but Joe Gomez has played, I think if I'm correct, 2 times 90 minutes throughout the whole 2025 year. So if we want to keep him available longer, it's maybe a bit of a risk to play him 7 times in 22 days. He missed out on a training session yesterday, by the way, as well, but we are expecting him to train today. So challenging, but the good thing is that we have still enough good players available, and maybe one of them or 2 of them have to play in positions they usually don't do. But that's what we have to accept.
Hi, Arne. You've spoken a lot about the ability of the benefits of playing with a lead, and a big part of that is making a fast start. In comparison to last season, Liverpool haven't made as many fast starts. I think it's only once in 17 games Liverpool scored in the first half an hour of a game compared to 22 times just in the league last season. What do you think that's down to, and how do you think you can get that back?
I wasn't aware of that stat, although I am aware that we mostly go 1-0 down instead of 1-0 up recently. I cannot give you an explanation for that at this moment of time. I maybe need a little bit more time to think about it, but it does have an impact on a game because, I said many times that City deserved the lead in the first half completely. But it does make a big difference if you go 1-1 into half time. Then when a goal is disallowed, how did he exactly say it? For not unreasonable reasons. And then 2 seconds later you're 2-0 down. So yeah, goals have a lot of impact on games. That's for sure. So yeah, but I cannot give you an explanation why it is actually at this moment of time.
Arne, just on Dominic, obviously he's been so important for you so far this season. He had that kind of hammer blow of disappointment being away with Hungary. Have you had to kind of lift his spirits this week to try and make sure it doesn't have a knock-on effect?
No, we did talk about it. We spoke not only with him, also with Milos, because for the both of them it was, of course, a very big disappointment being so close to playoff games, and then going out in the extra time, which was fair because I checked it. I was curious to see if there would have been a substitution in that 5 minutes, but I think there were 2. So the referee was in this situation right that he added some extra time. Yeah, then it's really hard that you concede, especially because you. On the other side, you see rubber, what it means to a country and to a player that haven't qualified for so long, and the same would have been for Hungary, of course. Although playing playoff games doesn't mean you will qualify, but it gives you a chance. And I asked him, is there now still a chance? Because I don't have a clue what's happening. But Alexander-Isak with Sweden, they have 1 point out of 5 or 6 games, but they still have a chance to go to the World Cup because they won Group C of the Nations League, where Hungary was in Group A, and they did not win that, of course, so they are not involved. So it's hard for him that they've actually had quite a good season or 2 seasons with the national team, being in Group A of the Nations League and picking up quite a lot of points in their group, but not qualifying. Yeah, it's hard, but. Recently at our club, he's a little bit used to disappointments, so but not such a big one as this one maybe. But he will be fine. He will always work as hard as he can, and I don't expect him to do any different tomorrow.
Hi Arne, Adrian Canati spoke about his contract situation during the international break. Is there any more developments on that, and is he a player who you'd like to keep beyond the end of the season?
I couldn't hear you very good. Did he talk about it or?
Canate talked about it to the French media.
Okay.
So is there any developments on that front? Is he a player who you'd like to keep beyond the end of the season?
I haven't heard that, but yeah, my answer would probably be the one you expect. Do I have to say it or do you say it? Okay.
Cheers, Arne.
No,